Hey everyone, now this is a video that, some people might enjoy, others won't, especially if you're a fan of these movies. But I have to do this because it's just mandatory, right? I mean, you have good films, you have bad films, you have good horror films, bad horror films. So such is life, we're going to have to review the bad horror films. I'm going to do the best horror films after this video, but, you know, next week maybe. But today, we got to focus on a topic that some people find hilarious and some people just absolutely hate the directors for. So the first movie we're going to look at is Cult of Chucky within the Chucky franchise. So Cult of Chucky, wow. So after Curse of Chucky, they decided to make another one. Yet another one, which, was fine had they done it correctly. But instead, they give you the bullcrap that is Cult of Chucky. A terrible film. One of the worst in the franchise, period, besides Child's Play 3 and Bride of Chucky and Seed of Chucky. Actually, not besides, alongside those films. It's definitely the worst, in my opinion. Cult of Chucky just nails it for being the worst. This is my number 5, Cult of Chucky. So that's it for that one. On to the next one. Now, this is within also one of the most popular horror franchises to date, which is Nightmare on. Let me take it out of the protective case. Nightmare on Elm Street. As you guys know, this series has had its ups and downs. Mainly its ups, because most of these films are at least somewhat decent, and they never threw Freddy in space. So congratulations to Freddy Krueger on never going to space. That might be a good thing or a bad thing, but coming in at number 4 is Freddy's Dead. The Final Nightmare, I believe it's what it's called. Released the same year as Jason Goes to Hell, which somehow managed to not make on this list, just barely, because there are 2 worse films that need to be on this list. I couldn't do it without, so I left Jason Goes to Hell alone. That might end up in one of the videos after this, but for right now, Freddy's Dead, number 4. Terrible film. The CGI ending in this is just bull. The makeup for Freddy is terrible. I'm not even a huge Freddy fan, but it's terrible. It's garbage. What were they thinking? So that's it for that one. Let me actually put it back in its protective case. Won't want to ruin the copy of Freddy's Dead, right? Anyway, on to the next one. Whew, these last 2 films was a tough choice to pick which one was number 1. And believe me, it was almost a dead tie up until the end when I was like, I have to pick one. Leatherface 2017. This movie and me, we have a history. Okay? So when the trailer came out, I was hyped. I was like, this looks like a really good Texas Chainsaw flick. And I was happy. I was like, finally, we're getting a good Texas Chainsaw movie. First time since, well, hell, actually, I don't know. I did like the '03 remake, and I loved the 2013 movie. But, like, an actual film that was, like, a backstory to Leatherface, I was excited for. Like, a good backstory film. No one's been able to manage to make a really good backstory film. Rob Zombie tried, and I think he did okay with the remake. But, this was trash. For a prequel, it is garbage. I wouldn't even give it a 1 star. This doesn't even get a 0.5. There is no 0.5. It gets a straight 0. Maybe even into the negatives. So many things that this movie missed out on that they could have done right. They try to trick you with who's Leatherface in the trailer. And as you see here, you see this big guy dragging someone. You'd think, that's Leatherface, right? That's got to be Leatherface. But no, it's not Leatherface. And that's one of the most disappointing factors in this movie. This thing had so much going for it, and then it managed to do so little with what they had. It doesn't make any sense how they managed to do this. The original story of Texas Chainsaw Massacre, they wore that with shame. This movie was trash. That's all I can say about it. I don't think there's anything good about this. Even the ending was bullcrap. The music, there you go. There's one good thing. Music in this movie was good. This last movie. Ho. Good thing I only bought this for $1. Wow. Tremors 2. Wow. What a trash movie. There's no other word for this. There is no moment in this film that I particularly enjoyed. The worm creatures, those weren't even that interesting looking. Just the different things that they try to combine into this movie, just I don't know, it didn't do it for me. Not a fan at all of Tremors. And this movie does that for me. I've never seen the original. This movie makes me hate the franchise because if this is what they dish out, especially as a second movie, I can't even imagine what they did in the first movie. You know, I mean, and what I mean by that is, by a sequel, do you think you know how to do everything? You know how to do like the CGI of the monster and all that jazz. But I think they failed. Very major fail for this movie. I cannot even give this a ranking. It's way worse than Leatherface, though. Way worse. It would be wrong for me to rate this because it just is not worth my time. It's a terrible movie. Trash. The only reason I'm keeping it is because it adds to my collection. It's just another movie in the stack of movies that I have. That's all it is. Most of these other movies, listen, there's a couple of good Nightmare movies that I'll go back and watch. There's a couple of good Chucky movies that I'll go back and watch. Okay? There's not a single Tremors movie that I'll probably ever watch, mainly because of that movie. And even this doesn't even prevent me from seeing any other Texas Chainsaw movies. I just hate this one. So it doesn't prevent me from doing it. Some franchises, if you mess it up, you can get people's attention and go way down the drain. And for me, Tremors, maybe I'll check them out sometime in the future when I'm bored out of my mind. But as of right now, I don't think I'll ever watch another one. But anyway, on a good note, I'm gonna add this as my as just a bonus. Got this the other day. Picked this bad boy up. Hatchet, the director's unrated cut, which is awesome. It's an awesome movie, and getting the unrated version is even cooler. So I love this movie. They did amazing. There's some big stars in here. Tony Candyman Todd, Robert Freddy Krueger England, who's actually in one of my reviews and in the movies I mentioned, Jason Hodder, and Mercedes and McNabb from Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and Joel David Moore is the lead, and he was in Dodgeball. That guy who doesn't know how to do anything, who ruins everything for everyone. That guy. Anyway, thanks for watching my third episode of I almost said my third episode of Upgrade. That's because it's sitting right there, and I just keep looking at it. Thanks for watching my third episode of Ranked, and make sure you tune in to the next one, and make sure you hit like, subscribe, and click that ringy-dingy bell notification thing, and you're going to get notified anytime I make a video. If you understood anything I just said, I hope you did. God, that stutter was almost as bad as these films. Next thing I'll have to do is rank people's stutters. Mike Tyson's number one. Anyways, see you in the next one.